xxxtentacion's unprecedented rise to the top was inspiring, and shows that anyone can get themselves out of any situation, no matter how rough they may have it. X had it rough growing up, and got himself into trouble with the law plenty of times throughout his life. On this episode of Inside the Crime, we take a look at how Jahseh Onfroy's criminal lifestyle helped kickstart his career. Make sure to subscribe and drop a like on the video. Jahseh Onfroy was born on January 23, 1998, to Cleopatra Bernard and Dwayne Onfroy. Jah had it rough from the start. He grew up in Lauderhill, Florida, a place with a high rate of violent crime. In 2008, the FBI's UCR reported 937 violent crimes per 100,000 people in Lauderhill. This was significantly higher than the violent crime rate in Florida, which had 689 violent crimes per 100,000 people. As a country, the United States had just 459 violent crimes per 100,000 people. Unfortunately, 2008 was also the year where X's father Dwayne was hit with a RICO charge and sentenced to 9 years in prison. He'd later get deported to Jamaica. The absence of Dwayne left Cleopatra to raise X all by herself. This was incredibly difficult for her. She couldn't really afford to do it. Cleo needed help and often had other people look after X. X would hardly get to see his mom and was barely getting any attention from her. He decided that the best way to get attention from her would be to fight kids in school, since she would always yell at him over the phone when he beat kids up. Although these weren't positive interactions, the negative attention from his mom was better than no attention to Jah. Around this time, Jah started to express interest in music and joined his middle school's chorus. His time in the chorus didn't last long though, as a sucker punch during a performance from X to another kid resulted in him getting kicked out of the program. Eventually, all this fighting led to X getting expelled from his middle school. Miraculously, X made it to high school, but he wouldn't last long. In 10th grade, when Jah was 16 years old, he dropped out after a string of charges landed him in YDC for 9 months. The laundry list of charges included gun possession, armed robbery, armed burglary, resisting arrest non-violently, 3 GTA charges, and possession of oxy. X claimed that he had done all those things to get attention from his mom, but didn't make any serious money from any of his burglaries. YDC would end up being a blessing in disguise for X, as he met Stokely Goldborn, who was in the detention center for weed charges. John and Stokely became good friends during their time in YDC together. One day, both men started banging on shit to make beats, and they started rapping over these beats. This was when the two discovered each other's rapping ability. Jah had some experience making music before YDC, but Stokely didn't have any. During his time in YDC, Jah would come up with the famous xxxtentacion moniker, which means unknown temptation. The two became such good friends that they planned on linking up when both men were released, with the intention of committing home invasions together. Crime was both men's way of expressing their emotions, but when the two linked up, they realized it was better if they expressed their emotions through music. X grabbed a blue snowball mic and fired up Audacity, and helped Stokely make his first song. This was the beginning of Ski Mask the Slump God. The two continued making music together, and eventually started a collective called Members Only. At first, the only members were them two, and they put out a mixtape together called Members Only Volume 1. The group rapidly started expanding. By the time Members Only Volume 2 came out in October 2015, 6 more artists had roles on the tape. Off the heels of the mixtape, X would release Look at Me, a song he cooked up in 15 minutes on December 30th, 2015. In January 2017, over a year after its release, the song would blow up, when Drake seemingly bit X's flow on the song KMT. Between the time it dropped and the time it blew up, X had moved in with Denzel Curry and landed himself in jail twice after robbery and deadly assault with a weapon, and then a dispute with his girlfriend. In April 2017, X was released from prison. His career took off. Before his tragic death in June of 2018, X had established himself as one of the most versatile rappers of all time, and was a face of the new generation. X had started to completely turn his life around, and was constantly preaching positivity. X's story is inspirational, and shows anyone can make it out of a tough time. He wasn't the perfect kid. His mother's neglect forced him into violence, but he was constantly striving to become a better person, and went down as an impactful role model for millions of people, including myself. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you on the next episode of Inside the Crime.